In today's video, I am going to be breaking down a player called Johni Broome. He is a fantastic player from Auburn that we can really look at and see how he plays so that we can play better ourselves. Let's get down, let's check him out, and see what may excel him to become an NBA player. So in this first play, what we are looking at is a good, solid back screen by his teammate and a pass from the point over to the player on that left wing. If this was taken from the actual game and not just a highlight, what you would have seen is this player cutting across staggered screen and then Johni Broome cutting off of that back screen. It's actually a really good play if you're a basketball coach. When he's cutting, there was no talking on the defensive side, which leaves him wide open cutting to that rim. A play like this is great, and if we actually zoom in, especially if you're a younger player, having your hands up calling for the ball is actually a very good idea. He's also slightly bent. He's not running with straight legs. A lot of players will do that once they get wide open and they give up, which makes the defense able to recover. But in this case, he's able to land somewhat pretty wide on 2 feet. He's able to turn right away, leaves his back to the defender, and that is what allowed him to be able to get that layup left hand off glass. Fantastic cut, good way of sealing, able to get that basket. Now coming off of this screen, he pops, but watch what he does right here. After he receives that ball, he's able to catch on 2 feet. This allows him to be able to react a little bit quicker, and then he's able to attack that basket. When he attacks that basket, he goes off onto 2 feet right there. This gives him the ability to be able to pivot off of either foot as long as they both touch the ground at the exact same time. What he does, however, in this clip is he gets his elbow into the defender's armpit right there. This is very important because by getting your elbow into that armpit, you can clear out that arm so that you're actually able to go up with this shot and, in this case, make that shot. Now, in this clip, the ball comes passed out to him. He wasn't exactly ready, but if he was a little bit more ready, he would have been able to have a little bit more of a wide open shot, but it's still wide open either way. But he's able to stretch that floor, and he's got a pretty good shooting motion as well. Elbow is well above the forehead, but it does have his arm tilt out just a bit, which is kind of concerning if you ask me. Because usually when an arm goes out towards that left side, that ball goes out towards that left side and it misses. But that's not the case in this clip right here. He swishes it. Now, this is actually quite confusing to me. So he's 6'10". He's a pretty solid guy in the low post. However, what we see is 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, and then he goes into a 3rd dribble right there, and then he's able to spin off. Nobody is trying to dig on him. And this is a little bit concerning. Does the other team just not believe in his ability to post up? Or are they just wanting him to try and score against this guy because maybe they think this guy is a very good defender? But either way, he gets a really good seal with his foot behind that defender's foot. He has literally sealed this man behind him. That elbow right there is going to do the job of sealing him as well right there. And that, my friend, is going to be a perfect seal. Offensive player foot is behind the defender's foot. Elbow is locked in behind the back of that defender, which means that that whole lane left side is wide open. This is what's going to allow him to be able to make that left-hand layup right there. So, of course, if you are a low post player and you are looking to seal your man off of a spin, it's exactly what you see right here. And that is having that foot behind that defender's foot, getting your elbow, sealing that man with your elbow on his back. This is going to allow you to seal anybody in the low post off of a spin move. Now, Johni Broome is not just a great scorer. He has a very good ability to screen and roll, but also has the vision to be a very problematic player at the next level. So he sets this screen, he rolls off, he has his hands up, he's actually square with the ball at this point, which is fantastic. This is kind of what a lot of coaches will say are the beginner steps of being a great screen and roll player. They'll say this is the basics, being squared up. However, when he rolls off, he receives that pass, he gets the help defender. This man technically should be dropping. This is why you overload a side on a triangle. And this essentially puts offensive players in decision-making mode. So for example, if this man helps off, you have the option here unless he drops. Then you have this guy option out here for the 3. If this guy doesn't help and he stays with his man, you have a wide open lane to the basket. If this man helps, you get the kick out for the corner 3. If he helps, or he just stays with his man and doesn't drop, you have a wide open player here. And that's exactly what happened. He was able to get the assist right here because he has great court vision and decision-making skills. And this is what I mean right here. So here they set that same screen, he squares up, he gets that ball. Now, everyone is collapsing on him except for the help man. Help man is staying here. He doesn't want another dunk. So Johni Broome just puts up the floater and he's able to make it while this guy's sticking with his man so that there's no lob dunk. And being 6'10", it's always good. You need to be a three-point threat. This is something that everyone needs. There is no such thing as just low post players anymore. So if you're 6'10" like Johni Broome and you can't hit the 3, you got to be able to do that. It adds an extra layer of difficulty for the defense. Now, I really like Johni Broome's drive right here. However, I really do like what his teammate does with number 8, his teammate right here, what he does. So Johni Broome goes and attacks the basket. He has the open lane. However, this man obviously wants to cut off this drive. He needs to move over and somebody needs to drop. However, what happens is his teammate seals the help man, which leaves that open lane to the basket, which then ultimately leads to a dunk because Johni Broome was able to get his shoulder in front of that defender who he was driving by. See, we're all focused on this because this was fantastic. However, if we rewind just a little bit, anytime you drive to the basket, your goal should be to try and get your shoulder in front of this defender. And that's exactly what we see him do right here, which then allows him to have that lane, and he's able to then throw down that dunk. I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball player. Make sure to go check out the vertical jump training book that is down in the description below if you want to be able to jump higher. If you want to be able to dunk like Johni Broome, that is what you need. So definitely go check it out. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button and subscribe.